You have this knowing within you that is saying to trust yourself, to embrace yourself, to stop judging yourself, and unconditionally love yourself. When we fully accept ourselves in this moment, you do something, you change your frequency, and you create that connection with your higher self. You are enough just the way you are. So today I wanted to just sit down and have a chat. I haven't done these in a really long time, and I don't know where this is gonna go, but I'm just gonna let the camera roll and just speak whatever comes through. The biggest thing that keeps us from living freely and living the life that we desire, and most of the times the life that we desire, it's more about the feeling, the freedom that we feel, we think we will feel when we are living a desired life. What's keeping us from feeling that and tapping into that is our disconnection with our true self, our disconnection with who we truly are. And where that comes from is the disconnection arises from this deep, deep, deep wound that almost all of us, I would say, we are all living off of. That is the wound of not feeling enough, thinking that I am not enough. And everything else, all of the other fears and the way we function in this world and a desire to take control of our life arises from not feeling enough, wherein our existence itself makes us enough. But we have been trained, we have been conditioned to think otherwise, so that we could stay disconnected from our power, stay disconnected from our true self. Because when we are in true self, we are just flowing. We are so connected with our higher self, which is constantly guiding us and giving us the next steps to follow, to experience the life that we are here to experience. So for generations and generations, we have been conditioned to disconnect ourselves from our true self by conditioning us through different means to make us feel that we are not enough just the way we are. Now, this feels like very common sense thing to think that yes, like most of us, if we check in with ourselves, we actually do not feel enough. We feel like we have to do something different, we should be trying something new, we should be doing something outside of us to make ourselves feel enough, to make ourselves feel worthy. And the reason I'm talking about this is because just recently I've had this deep, deep realization just how deeply rooted this belief of not being enough is. About 3 years back, I began this journey where I just wanted to truly start living. And this came after my mom crossed over. And I had this deep desire because it's when you lose a loved one, again, I don't like saying that, but when your loved one crosses over, you have this awakening within you and this desire that you want to fully live because you don't know when your last breath is going to be. So, as expected, I had this deep desire to truly free myself from all of outside control. So everything that's outside of me that had control over me, over my emotions, over my reactions, over the way I was feeling, I just wanted to detach and free myself from it so I can just truly be. All I knew was that I just want to truly be. And I had no idea what was going to be in store for me. I felt called to just pull myself away from everything. So that meant intense isolation because I really had nothing to do with the outside world, no connections, not even so much so like social media, content creation. I had phases through the last 3 years where I would feel called to create, but everything essentially, like my life completely changed, and most of it was spent just doing the inner work. And working through the shadows that were coming up, that were coming to light, and just working through it and just learning how to just be and embrace my true self. The only thing that just kept me going was this idea of freedom. I didn't know what freedom actually looks like, what it's meant to feel like, but I just wanted to be free. Just freely be me. Be unapologetically be me. The theme of my journey kind of has been the word bindas. My mom used to say that word a lot, bindas. Like, it's carefree. Like, it's just a feeling of just being free and not giving a about anything, and just fully being yourself and fully letting yourself express who you are. That sort of has been my motivation and my theme for the journey. And so many times I have experienced the glimpse of that freedom. I have experienced that. But over time, without me even realizing, because I had been called to pull myself away from everything, so that means I wasn't being productive, I wasn't really creating, I wasn't really doing anything, I wasn't bringing in money financially, I wasn't being helpful per se, to the household. And it all happened for a reason. Initially, I thought because I was just working through my shadows, it was bringing up shadows, and things that I could release. And I was owning that. But when 2 years passed and then 3 years passed, this wound of not being enough became more and more prevalent. And now I can see that the everything happened for a reason, and the reason was so I can see my wound to this level i where I have been given the opportunity to choose myself over and over and over and over again, given the opportunity to trust in myself over and over and over again. But as time went by, the volume of the self doubt, the volume of the self judgment became louder and louder. And all of that arises from the core belief that I'm not enough. Now, all of those things that had fallen apart, which I happily let go of because I knew that that is what I needed to do. I felt called to let go of that and detach myself from it. And that was my intention as well, that I didn't want anything that I do to dictate how worthy I am. I didn't want my productivity to dictate how worthy I feel. And as time went by, that core wound became so noisy that I felt like I was literally going crazy. I wasn't just feeling myself. There was this constant contradiction in my mind that, have I done something wrong? I was questioning my entire journey for over the last 3 years. I was questioning it all. I'm like, I have dug such a huge hole for myself that I don't even know how to get out of here now. And I started questioning everything. I was like, I began this journey to free myself, and I feel like that I have done completely the opposite, that I have intentionally built this prison around me that I now have no idea how to get out of. But while that self doubt and then constant judgment was extremely loud, like extremely loud, I was totally going insane, I still had that knowing within me. And sometimes with frustration, I'll be like, Jazz, like that knowing is BS. Like, this is you are making these things up now because you don't want to take action towards getting yourself out of this prison. Now you feel like you have dug yourself so deep into a hole that you don't see the light, and now you're just running away by making up this story that you have this knowing within you that is saying to trust yourself, to embrace yourself, to stop judging yourself, and unconditionally love yourself. And every time I would choose to listen to that knowing, I felt a sense of freedom. I felt a sense of freedom from that prison, even if it was just it was momentarily. But then I would go back into it because all the doubts started creeping in, all the fears started creeping in. The noise of not being enough became extremely, extremely loud. It was this last weekend where I had a moment of F this. I am not going to give in to this contradiction, this confusion that's in my mind, and I'm going to choose that little whisper that has kept me walking through this entire journey, and it has showed me so much, and it has helped me so much, unlocked so much wisdom, and freed me from so much of my conditioning and programming. Like, I am going to choose that. And as soon as I did that, I had this sudden burst of, not even burst off, it's just like a sense of relief. It feels so good to freaking choose yourself, no matter how your situation, your life looks on the outside. It is so empowering to choose yourself and trust yourself, because that is who we are. When we question ourselves, when we judge ourselves, when we are constantly questioning ourselves and criticizing ourselves, that is not our true self, because our truth is that we are enough just as we are. Our existence makes us worthy. And when we start questioning ourselves and judging ourselves, that's where all the contradiction and the confusion and the uncomfortable and discomfort arises. The uncomfortable feelings come because that's our body telling us that you're going against what is your truth. And at that moment, I just felt such a sense of freedom and liberation. And it's not like I have not chosen myself over the last 3 years. That's exactly what I have done. And that's what has led to this exact situation that I am in right now, where I was made to come face to face and see how deep this wound is. It's not just mine, it's generational. It's from this feeling of not being enough, this belief of feeling like we are not enough. That is where all of the fear arises. That is where we want to achieve these things and chase this thing and do this thing and do something about our life, fix something in our life. And I feel like almost everyone is functioning from that deep rooted wound of not being enough. We are constantly trying to prove something or the other. And when everything had been stripped away from me and it had been 3 years, I needed to feel that to still choose myself, even in this situation, to choose myself. I created this situation for myself so that even when I arrive here, I get to choose myself and not choose the discomfort, not choose the contradiction, not choose the old, not choose the false, the illusion, which is that we are not enough, that I am not enough as I am. I had to create this exact situation for myself to further perpetuate and allow the roots of that belief to come to surface. I want you to just ask yourself, anything that you do, where is that arising from? Anything that you choose to do, where is that coming from? You want to create something, you want to achieve something, you want to have that relationship. Where is that coming from? Is it coming from a place that if you do that or if you have that, it will make you feel worthy? Then that means that you do have that belief that you are not enough just the way you are. I feel, again, almost everyone is functioning from that. But this is what we are all working through. We are seeing the lie now, we are seeing the illusion now, and we're seeing just how deep this conditioning has been. From when we are kids, we go to school, like we are taught to look out to the teacher to give us information because we are not enough the way we are. So we need to have this outside wisdom to be put in to feel enough, to feel worthy. And that just keeps on going our entire life. It goes to our relationship, it goes to what we want to create, the business that we build, the job that we have, the title that we desire, that we want. It's all to fill this void that we have within ourselves, that we are not enough just the way we are, which is a complete lie, a complete illusion. And honestly, I feel this so strongly now. I'm like, our true freedom lies on the other side of us fully accepting ourselves in this very moment. When we fully accept ourselves in this moment, you do something, you change your frequency, and you create that connection with your higher self. You trust that you're enough the way you are, you're enough who you are. You are not, your worth, your enoughness is not dictated by what you produce outside in the world, what you achieve, what you create, what you have. And when you're in that space, you are so divinely connected with your soul, with your higher self. And what happens from that space is you live from that enoughness. You don't feel the need to chase, you don't feel the need to create, you don't feel the need to do anything but just be. And from that beingness is your soul's fullest expression. You are giving the space to your soul to fully express itself the way it was meant to do in this lifetime for you. When you fully accept yourself and unconditionally love yourself, you make space for your true self to come out and express. And that expression could look like anything, anything and everything. That expression could look like desire to create a business. That expression could look like having the fanciest car and the biggest house. That expression could look like the desire to travel. But now it's coming from your soul. It's not coming from this idea of not feeling enough and wanting to do or have things in order to fill that void. This is completely different frequency. When you're coming from a place of that you are enough, and you know that you don't need anything outside of you to make you feel good, you just flow in your highest alignment. You just flow effortlessly. You are excited to live moment by moment. And when you know you're enough just as you are, you have this incredible trust in life. You have this incredible trust in life that everything will unfold for your highest good. That every experience is something that your soul is here to experience, and then you don't resist it. You just go with it and you just flow with it. And everything just becomes exciting. I'm not saying there's not going to be challenging times, but your perspective for the challenging times changes. It's all rooted in enoughness. Like, I knew we had this wound. I knew I had this wound that I don't feel enough. And that is what keeps me small. But I just didn't know how deep it ran until just this weekend, where I just had to make that choice. I have made this choice a million times over the last 3 years, especially. But this time was just like I was brought face to face with just how deep this is and how incredibly controlling this wound is, that is keeping you small, that was keeping me small and keeping me from fully expressing myself and accepting and embodying my true self and just being being okay with every emotion that I have, being okay with the way I think, being okay with the way I am. Like, that is just freedom. Like, I know it might sound just very simple, but when you truly experience, it's just a felt experience. It's just a felt experience. I cannot tell you how free I felt in that moment. I truly felt like absolutely nothing is out of reach for me, that I'm fully tapped into unlimited potential. And since then, have I been embodying that every single moment? No. But that has unlocked something where anytime I don't feel that, I'm accepting that as well. And as soon as I accept that, it's just freeing. It's just like, I know I am enough as I am. Even in this confusion, even in this contradiction, even in this feeling small, or even in this moment of confusion, judgment arises, but then suddenly dissolves, because then suddenly I know that I am enough, and there's no place for judgment, there's no place for self-criticism now. It's just freedom, it's just freedom of expression, it's just freedom to be. Yes, I truly invite whoever's watching this, I truly invite you to sit with that. Just see how much of your life is being controlled and navigated by this wound. And it's not your fault that you have that wound. Let me make this very clear. It is not your fault that you have this wound. Almost everyone in this world is functioning from this wound, because we have been made to go further and further away from ourselves. The way the systems are set up, the way the conditioning and the programming has been done, we have just been made to go away, more and more away from ourselves. When we are disconnected from our truth, the truth that we are enough just the way we are extremely disempowered. And when we are disempowered, we are taking actions and making decisions and doing things out of that not feeling enough, and out of fear, and out of control, and out of this urge to feel enough. But let me tell you, you are enough. Right now, you sitting here and watching this video and hearing me, listening to me, you are enough just the way you are. And when you keep reminding yourself of that, you are connecting more and more with your truth, your true frequency. And then nothing can hold you back. Nothing can hold you back. I feel like that should be the only intention. If you're on a spiritual journey or self-help journey, whatever journey, like you desire something more in your life, set that as the intention. Set the intention that I truly want to align myself with my truth, which is I am enough. And when you set that intention, get ready. Like, life will show you, universe will show you exactly what is not in alignment to that. And you just have to be willing to embrace that and act upon that, knowing that you are being walked towards your core frequency, your core truth, which is who you truly are, and you are enough as that. All right, this is a long video. All right, I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for listening. Sending you so much love. Mwah. Take care of yourself.